So the beautiful thing is that it only takes 3 things in order to turn your Facebook group into an ATM. And of course, we're going to discuss those 3 things right now. The first thing that you need to be able to do is you need to be able to grow your Facebook group. So the faster that you can grow your group with new people, the faster your bank account can grow. So we need to make sure that we're getting fresh people in the group. There's 2 ways to do that. One is organic growth. The second is paid growth. We only have time to talk about one of those things today, but don't y'all worry because it's going to be the best one. And the best one is, of course, paid traffic. And why is paid traffic the best? It's predictable, it's scalable, it's easier, and it's faster. First order of business is to thank both Ronnie and Lamar for allowing me the opportunity to grace the stage, share my gift with all of you beautiful and brilliant black folks. Give yourself a round of applause. Cool, so I'm gonna need someone in this audience, hopefully more than one, but at least one person in this audience to help me pay them back. Y'all wanna know how y'all can do that? I know for a fact what they want is for as many of you as possible to take this information, implement it, and then go make a whole bunch of money. That's how we're going to do it. So can anyone commit to being locked in, focused for the next 30 minutes, implementing this, and then go making a whole bunch of money so we can pay them back? Cool, good stuff. All right, so I only got 30 minutes, y'all. A lot of stuff to cover. So the part of this where I talk a lot about myself, had to nip it in the bud. Had to. So we're going to play a quick game, though, because it's still important that you understand why you should actually give me your 30 minutes. So we're going to accomplish that by a quick game. So where are my competitive game players at? Put your hands up. Those players that, you know, we play to win. No mercy. Family, friends, kids, we're winning. All right. All right, so really the reason I'm doing that is just because if a late night spades game breaks out, I need to know who I don't want on my team. So, all right, let's play a game. So this game is simple. It's called 3 Truths and a Lie. You probably played some variation of it. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to read off these 4 statements. And then to make it easier, at the end, you guys will just raise your hand on which one you believe is the lie. We good? Okay, cool. So the most ad spend that I managed in a single day for a single client is $40,000. Number 2, my entrepreneurial journey started immediately after getting fired from my job. Statement number 3, I spent over $200,000 of my own money on Facebook ads. And number 4, paid traffic is no longer the fastest and easiest way to scale your business to 7 figures. So, all right, so number 1, who thinks that I haven't managed $40,000 in ad spend in one day? Hands up. Okay, you, couple. Cool. Who believes that someone like me couldn't get fired from the job? Who thinks that one's a lie? Y'all think I can get fired? Okay. All right, who thinks that I haven't spent $200,000 of my own money since 2018 on Facebook ads? Hands up. A few? All right, and who believes that the lie is that paid traffic is no longer the fastest way and easiest way to scale your business? Lies. I knew you guys were smart. That one is a lie. But hold on. Let me be clear. Just because I said that it's the fastest and the easiest way doesn't mean that it happens overnight. Doesn't mean that you don't need to put any effort in. So I don't want to overhear anyone out in the hallway saying that Terry told me that scaling my business to 7 figures is fast and easy. You need that suffix, that EST. So we clear on that? Cool. So let's talk about the current state of Facebook ads, because I know we all feel it. So let's talk about the elephant in the room. So it's harder than ever before. Terry, what does that mean? Well, that means in a few years ago, to properly manage and optimize a campaign, if it took you 10 hours, right now you're going to spend 20 hours to just hope to get the same results. So it's harder. It's more expensive than it's ever been before. Terry, what does that mean? Well, in a literal sense, in 2020, the cost to get your ads in front of 1,000 people on Facebook cost $12. Fast forward now to 2023, it's going to cost you $15. So for my fellow math nerds, that means that Facebook increased their prices by 25%. So if you haven't raised your rates by 25%, guess what? Your ads aren't as profitable by basic math. And number 3, Facebook ads are more maddening than ever before. So, we already talked about them being harder. We talked about them costing more, but if you need to be even more mad, how about having to invest in different third-party attribution tools to read your data correctly? How about Facebook, I'm going to get a pause on this one, restricting ad accounts and disabling ad accounts. Makes us mad. And how about the hot and coldness that your ads can pop off for 2 or 3 days, you're feeling good about yourself, and then they flop and you don't know why. Anyone experience this? Cool, so that's what's happening, but what are we going to do now? In TSP fashion, we're going to talk about the solution and not the problem. Y'all good with that? Y'all want the solution? Cool, so we're going to talk about how to turn your Facebook group into an ATM. Y'all ready to do this? Cool. So the beautiful thing is that it only takes 3 things in order to turn your Facebook group into an ATM. And of course, we're going to discuss those 3 things right now. The first thing that you need to be able to do is you need to be able to grow your Facebook group. So the faster that you can grow your group with new people, the faster your bank account can grow. So we need to make sure that we're getting fresh people in the group. There's 2 ways to do that. One is organic growth. The second is paid growth. We only have time to talk about one of those things today, but don't y'all worry because it's going to be the best one. And the best one is, of course, paid traffic. And why is paid traffic the best? Well, it's predictable, it's scalable, it's easier, and it's faster. So it's the best. So let's talk about the actual play, because when I'm on stage, I like to actually give steps on what you need to do in order to take action. So I'm going to break down the play and easy steps for you to follow on how you can start to grow your group with Facebook ads. Step 1 of the process is you need to build your funnel or set up your lead form. That's step 1 of the process. So on the screen, you can see examples of an example lead form and example sales page. It's kind of small, but that doesn't matter. The point is they're simple. They're not hard. You're only looking to accomplish 2 things. Who is your group for? And what benefit do they get from being inside of your group? You can set up a lead format in 5 to 10 minutes. You can set up a funnel like that in less than an hour. It's easy. Step 2 is you need to create your creatives. So that's your images or your videos. Again, these are examples. They are simple. That's the beautiful thing about the group method is you don't need professional photos. You don't need highly produced videos. You don't need any of it. So I want to just play a sample video really just to show you guys how easy it is. Like if you want to create a video so that you can start growing your Facebook group, you can do it by tonight, without a doubt.
Is your business leveraging the power of Facebook groups to grow and scale your high value offers? If not, you need to pay attention. Facebook groups are changing the game when it comes to selling high value offers because they allow you to increase your know, like, and trust factor. They become a machine that basically allows your business to have its own personal ATM. But you have to make sure that you're doing it right. And I'm going to teach you how to do it right within the Group Monetization Mastery Facebook group. In this group, we will touch the 3 pillars that you need to transform your Facebook group into an ATM. We're going to talk about growth. So how do you grow your Facebook group every single day using organic and paid strategies? You're going to figure out how to do that. Number 2, captivate and engage. Once people are in your Facebook group, how do you make sure that you're providing value that is relevant to them, that gets them quick wins, that gets them primed to want your big value offer? You're going to find out in the Facebook group. Number 3, monetization. Now you have these people in your Facebook group, you're providing value, you're keeping them engaged, but how do you get to the money? We're going to talk all about that in the Facebook group. So Facebook group is completely free. Go ahead and click the join group button below and I want to see you inside. And make sure that you consume the free 5-part mini course in there. It's how to turn your Facebook group into an ATM for group members. It's absolutely free. And you're also going to get an opportunity to get a complimentary Facebook group audit when you join us in the group. So listen, if you have been struggling to sell your high value offer, it's not your fault. You may have been listening to other people, highly complicated funnels, super big ad spend. Give your Facebook group method an opportunity. Give the group monetization mastery method an opportunity, and you will be amazed at the results. See you inside of the group.
Again, the only purpose of that video is to show you how easy it is. I communicated who the group was for and the value they can get from it. So nothing is stopping you from creating a quick video like that, creating an ad, and getting people to join your Facebook group. Part 2 of step 2 is creating your ad copy. Again, the beautiful thing is the ad copy is simple. You don't need a professional copywriter to create this copy for your group. You can use this framework, take a picture, and you're going to be good to go. Super easy. Who the group is for and why they should join it. Step 3 of the process is you need to figure out who are you going to get those ads in front of. So you need to create your targeting strategy. So to start off, you're going to start by targeting, I suggest, 2 interest-based audiences and 2 lookalike-based audiences if you have source data to build a lookalike audience. That means like purchasers, people on your email list, people that have watched videos, engage with your Facebook or Instagram. If you have those assets, then you can create 2 lookalike audiences, start off with your testing, and see how those do. If you don't have that, no worries, just go with the interest-based and you'll be cool. So at this point in the process, you have what you need to actually turn your campaign on. You can actually start running Facebook ads, and that's pretty simple. But of course, once the ads are live, you want to make sure that you're tracking your results. You want to track your results so that you're able to analyze and optimize. So the key thing that you want to focus on is your cost per new group member, of course. That's the objective, so that's what you want to hone in on. But you want to see how much is it costing you per your different creative that you're testing. You want to see how much is it costing you per audience that we talked about testing. How much is it costing you per ad copy? Make sure that you're paying attention to those things so that you can cut out what isn't working and do more of what is working. So if things aren't going the way that you like, here are some quick troubleshooting tips, because there's only 2 problems that can happen. One is either it's costing you too much money to get someone to your group funnel or lead form, so you're paying too much per click, or number 2, once you get them there, they're not converting at a high enough rate. So you want to do these things in this order. If it's costing you too much for a click, you want to test more creatives or different variations of creatives. You want to test different audiences. You want to test different versions of ad copy. And then lastly, you would test ABO, which is ad set budget optimization versus campaign budget optimization. Test those things in that exact order. And if your funnel's not converting people into group members, the first thing you want to do is test different audiences out. Then secondly, you can create like a stronger hook or test a different hook to get people in the group. And then the third thing that you would test is actual different changes to the funnel ad copy or the lead form copy. You do those things and you're going to troubleshoot your issues. So, heat check. Did that make sense? Anyone clear on how they can set up their Facebook ads to get people into their group? Cool. All right, so now you can get people into your group, but getting people into your group still doesn't do you good if you can't keep their attention, if you can't get them to do what it is that you need to do. So you got to be able to captivate your group. So captivating your group just means you're able to attract and hold the attention of those group members. And in order to do that, you need to have a strategic plan. Everything with your group needs to be strategically designed. If you have a plan, then it's easier to captivate the people because you know what they want. So here's a plan. You guys can take a screenshot of this, but one of the myths about Facebook groups is that it takes a whole lot of time to manage. People think they're adding a full-time job, but as you see, like, you can do it in 3 to 5 hours. Like, once you start getting good, you probably can cut it down and even a little bit more. So we're going to deep dive into like these different types of content pillars that you're going to use to strategically captivate your group so that you can convert them. So the first type of post and content that you're going to use inside of your group is called belief shifting. So your customer avatar, the people in your group, they're never going to get to where you need them to go. They're never going to get to where they say they want to go if they hold on to the same belief patterns. You know what beliefs they need to shift. We talked about that a lot already in this conference, but guess whose job it is to do that in your group? It's your job. So you're going to be creating posts to help them shift their beliefs to get on track and in alignment to what they need to believe in order to get the results that they say they want. There, you guys can take a picture on how to actually structure it. Here's an example. I'm not going to read off all of that, but basically that is shifting their belief that they need to do complex funnels, long drawn-out challenges. Basically, they can sell their high-value offer. 3 simple steps. I give them the framework and the framework to implement that. So that's what that belief shifting post did. Next up are value posts. If you want people to engage with your post, if you want people to be captivated, you got to provide value. And how do you provide value? You got to know what problems they have. That's a whole different talk that I could do. Don't have time for that, but if you really know who is coming inside of your group, you have to have a solution to their problem. And once you know that, it's easy to start creating value posts because you know what they need help with. Example, value post here is basically I talked about how I was able to scale a business to over 7 figures in 5 years, and I know that that was valuable to the people in my group because I know what they need. So the good thing about that is once I'm able to do that, get in a conversation with those people in order to convert them to a customer or client becomes easy because I've been providing value, I've provided them the framework. Next type of content you're going to use, transformation post. So if you want your group members to connect with you, one of the easiest and best things to do is let them know that you've been exactly where they are at now. They got to feel that. Once you can establish that connection, you feel relatable, they know that you can understand them, then they're going to start paying more attention to you, which is what you want. So here goes an example of that type of post. And basically on that one, I was just being vulnerable about some things I was feeling as an entrepreneur that I know that they also are likely vulnerable because I know who is in my audience. So again, it definitely starts with knowing who is inside of your group by doing a deep dive into those people because that really drives all of this content. Lastly, Facebook Lives. So one of the reasons people don't do Facebook Lives is they think that every time it may have to be a training session. They have to put together this elaborate deck. They have to be on there for 90 minutes. You don't have to do that every time. Here goes some examples of Facebook Lives ideas that you can leverage inside your group. You can talk about your story. You can talk about your why, the vision of the group. Of course, you can do trainings. You can do client stories or client interviews. You can do AMAs, Ask Me Anythings. You can do audits where you're actually taking a look at people's stuff and giving feedback. Great thing about this is a lot of these really don't require any prep work before you hit the Facebook Live in order to get ready for it. So Facebook Lives, the more that you can show up inside of the group, the more money you're going to make from it. All right, heat check. Anyone get some nuggets or clarity on what you can do to better captivate the people inside of your group? Cool. All right, so we know how to grow the Facebook group and we know how to captivate your Facebook group. But in these TSP streets, we always say we get money, not likes. So you can have those two things and still not make any money. And we want money, right? So let's get to the money. So before we dive deeper into this, I need you guys to please repeat after me. Conversations equal cash. Conversations equal cash. What does that mean? That means the more people that you can tell that you have the solution to the problem that you can speak to, that you can put that solution in front of, the more money you can make. Whether that's one-on-one via sales calls, whether that's one-to-many such as webinars or challenges, the more opportunities that you have to tell people how you can get them out of their pain and transform them to where they want to be, the more money that you can make. So when you start to look at your group as a conversation starter, a conversation generator, then you start to frame it a little bit differently, and that's what you want. So you want to first establish your Facebook group ecosystem. So what does that mean? Like you have to strategically, again, everything about your group has to be done strategically by design. Nothing is for accident. So the first thing you need to do is to ensure that your offer is properly designed and optimized. Again, that can be a whole nother session when we get into that, but offer is always king. Like if you don't have a great offer that really solves the people in the group's problems, you can have conversations and still not make money. Or if you do, it's going to be harder to get the money. So you need to figure out, for these people that are going to be inside of my group that has this specific problem, what offer can I put together that is basically so good that it's hard for them to say no? So you got to start there. A lot of work done on that piece. Again, that's a whole different conversation. Step 2 is you need to establish whether or not that offer is worth the investment of a sales call. What does that mean? So Cliff Note version is, let's say that your customer lifetime value is below $1,000. So over the lifetime of acquiring that customer, they pay you less than $1,000. You don't want to get on phone calls. You don't want to get on sales calls with those people. It's not going to be worth your time. It's not going to be profitable. So for those people, you want to sell one to many. You want to drive those Facebook group members into a webinar, into a challenge, into a master class, something where you can speak to more than one person at a time and still sell what you have to sell because it's only, it's less than $1,000. If you're between $1,000 and $3,000 for the customer LTV, then you probably want to use a one-call close. And what that means is just you talk to someone one time on the phone and they should buy. Like it's less than $3,000, you already provided value. That's another great thing about groups is they've been nurtured a lot better. It's better if you get a phone call coming in from a group member versus just like running an ad that goes to your page and book a call because you provided a lot of value if your group is valuable. So if it's between 1 to 3,000, you should implement just a one-call close. And if your customer lifetime value is over 3,000, then you should look at a two-call close. Two-call close just means the first call is typically a discovery call, a triage call. You're just gathering information to make sure that you can really help them that it's a good fit. Typically it's 15 minutes. And then if it's a good fit, then you schedule another call where you go deeper into a strategy session or sales call, however you want to frame it. So that's what you want to do in terms of establishing whether or not it's worth taking a sales call. Let's take a look at some example sales ecosystems. So we have an example. Again, these are just based off upon the customer LTV on which you can do, but it's important. A lot of people have groups. They don't take a time to step back and really document what that ecosystem looks like. Those are some examples. So we know that conversations equal cash from your group, but how do you create those conversations inside of your group? How does those get generated? This is how they get generated. The first way is when they come inside of your group, if they answer yes to the third question. I call the third question the money question. Basically, you're giving people that are they're solution ready now an opportunity to raise their hand and say that they give you permission to reach out, to start a conversation. So they're giving you that permission. You reach out via the DM. You can ask a few questions over DM to make sure that it's a good fit. If so, that call gets booked, that conversation gets started. So that's going to be where you get the most conversation started, actually, is when people join your group. So you want to make sure that third question is designed in order to get people to raise their hand if they're ready to move forward. Second, direct conversation starters. So about once a month, you're just going to have a post inside your group that basically it would go something like this, like, I'm looking for 5 business owners that want to grow their Facebook group revenue by $30,000 in the next 90 days. If you've been inside this group getting value and you think now is the time to really put this action to plan, comment me and a member of my team will reach out, or I'll reach out, whatever. Basically, you do that because some people are hot. Like you've been warming them up, providing value. If you make the ask, some people will say yes. That leads to a good conversation. Next up are indirect conversation starters. So I know we've all been hit with this inside a Facebook group or on Facebook. you dangle a valuable resource, like inside of the group Monetization Mastery, a bunch of them, but one is like a calculator that allows you to figure out how many group members you need to hit a certain amount of revenue. And basically, if they want that, they comment me, or whatever word you want. And when they comment that, then we reach out on a DM, we give them that resource, but then we're making a note to follow back up. Hey, how did that calculator work for you? Do you have any other questions? You have another opportunity to get someone on the phone because they raised their hand and they got that resource that you've given to them. Lastly is through comments and general dialogue in your group. Sometimes, like if you're doing Facebook Lives or you have posts, people will just comment. They may say they need additional help. They may have a question that you know is best served by talking to them on the phone or pointing them in another direction. That's another opportunity for you to get conversation started inside of your group. That is the framework. Those are the 3 steps. If you learn how to grow, captivate, and monetize your Facebook group, you have unlocked the PIN code to your own personal ATM. How does that sound? Anyone like to print money? That's what you do. You do those 3 things. Cool. So that is my time. If any of this sounded good, if you're interested in getting more information, more resources about Facebook groups, go ahead and scan that QR code, put in your request to join the Group Monetization Master Group, and like I said, there's additional resources that will help you grow your Facebook group. Thanks, y'all.
Let's go. Yeah. I'm like an addict, do I gotta have it. I ain't even playing, got a really bad habit.
Hi, my name is Cecily Abimana. I'm co-owner of Sew Creative Lounge. We are the culture keepers of sewing and quilting with the mission of teaching the world to sew one stitch at a time. I have a Facebook group that has about 11,000 members, and 2 things happen. One, we have this new thing, the Facebook group chats. I'm wondering, how do we use that inside of the strategy? And 2, I had an opportunity to run ads to grow my Facebook group, and I know that hasn't been something that has been available in the past, but I put like $300 towards it, but it doesn't show up in my ad account. And I'm like, where do I find, I don't know if you've seen it at all, but where do I find that page again?
So first part of the question is, you have to use that strategically. Like I've seen some groups where they just want to have like all types of group chats. So like if you have something really big going on, then it's great to have a group chat. It's always good to put out a filler to see if people will join them. But it's the same thing with like the tag everyone. You don't want to do that every single day. Like if you have something like a really big subject, then a group chat, it could be good to allow people to build like subsets of community. So they definitely can work. The second part of your question, you said that you were able to run Facebook ads to grow your group.
Yeah, it popped up in my group one day. I put $300 on it, and then I just can't get, it doesn't show up in my Facebook ads account.
Yeah, I believe they were doing, because Facebook, they do like some pilot tests where some users, get the ability because they are beta and stuff out. So, I don't think that was ever rolled out universally. Just like recently, they've started to beta out being able to run ads to people inside of your group, which is going to be a game changer. But again, that's not available to everyone yet. So you probably were just lucky in terms of getting the beta, but now, they took it away.
Okay.
But you can still grow your.
But did I use the money? Like I signed up for like $300. I don't know.
Yeah, I would have to see like in the ads manager, but if
I'll be on the call.
There we go. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Aris Guyton from Oakland, California. I am an event producer, producing conferences, street festivals, and nonprofit galas. I had a question about the lookalikes. I really don't understand it. I'm new to the Facebook ads. So if you have your interests, for example, Oprah, who would be the lookalike for that?
So lookalikes are based upon like your own source data. So a lookalike audience basically tells Facebook, hey, take this data and go out and find the other people on Facebook that looks like this. But it has to be data that you own. So if you have an email list of your leads, let's say you have a list of 1,000 people, you can upload that list of 1,000 people to Facebook and then tell Facebook to go find me the top 1% through 10% of the US that looks like those 1,000 people. Same thing with like people that have engaged with your Facebook page. If you've had 1,000 people that engage with your Facebook page, you can tell Facebook, hey, go and create a lookalike audience that looks like the people that have previously engaged with my Facebook. So lookalike is based upon your own data.
Got it. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Hey everyone, my name is Aisha Taylor Issa, founder and CEO of the Sisters in Business Expo, and the Sister Shop, the country's only multi-city small business expo and community created to celebrate Black women entrepreneurs. Hey y'all, so if you have a group that has not been active, but you have members, there are people there, what would you suggest in terms of bringing it back to life? Any of the strategies that you mentioned or something else? Yeah. And also, do you suggest actually being open about that and saying, hey y'all, we haven't been active, but we about to get active, or should we just kind of start back?
Honesty is always the best policy, so it's always good to be transparent. You can do that, but in order to bring them back, if your group is dead, you're probably gonna have to do something big. So maybe you wanna run like a master class inside your group. Maybe you wanna run like a special challenge, because if you do that, then you can start to wake it up. So you just can't put a post and say, hey guys, I'm back, and expect everything to pop off. You need to tell them and then plan something big inside of your group to get them re-engaged.
That's great, thank you.
Cool. Thank you guys.